Hey Rachel, my name is James Masellan
Hey.
from Movie Death Blows. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Oh, sure. Thanks for doing this. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. So, what was it like for you directing The Floaters? I know this is like the first movie you've directed that you actually haven't, written. I know you did your short, Keep the Change. What's it like for you doing this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like it's interesting directing a film that I haven't written. It's like an adopted child, and I find it kind of, number one, I'd say that the team behind the film, the producers and the writers, all cared about it so much. And so for me, if I'm joining a project that I haven't um, been there for the inception of, it's really important that I'm connecting to a team who I can connect with and that we all would want to make the same movie. And so that was really exciting actually to come on board when there are already so many great people involved. And then in terms of, as an artist making it my own, I really enjoy that process of, I think, like I said, it being kind of an adopted child and finding my way into it. Um, so yeah, it felt, I guess, much more natural and like an organic process than I would have imagined.
Yeah, I'm always curious when it comes to directors who are also screenwriters, like how do you feel taking over like somebody else's baby at the same time where it's, 50-50 cut in half the way. It's always an interesting dynamic to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so. I don't know if I experience it so much as 50-50. It's sort of like, a film is always evolving. Even if I'm just the writer, it's like once you involve actors in it, it changes. I sometimes think of a script as like a garment, and once you involve actors, it becomes you want to fit that garment to your cast. So I never felt like a kind of a strict, oh, this was the, their project and now it became mine. Rather, it's a collaboration and we all wove together, and it's never just one person anyway. We all make this together.
Can you speak to any summer camp stories you have personally, like the floaters, or is this just like a first for you? Did you go to camp or anything
I
like
did
that?
not go to camp. I'm Jewish. I'm a proud Jew and very involved, but I did not go to camp. So for me, it was like a dive into that culture that I really enjoyed and maybe brought a fresh eye to. Um, but I am, the story centers on kind of a group of misfits, and I don't know. I feel like I have a heart for underdog stories and misfit stories, and maybe all artists feel that way themselves. So I definitely found myself in it.
Yeah, like I'm half Jewish. My mom's Jewish, my dad's Catholic. But I went to camp, and
Yeah.
I can see some aspects of what I experienced here. Except I think the only bone I had to pick was the Gaga. I wanted to see more Gaga being played in the movie. That's just me personally, from my old camp stories and everything like that.
I can see you look like a Gaga guy.
You should have seen the Knuckles back in the day. They were bleeding all the time. It was much
Yeah.
different than the course you guys had and everything like that.
Uh,
But you had Jackie in the role of Nomi in this, and she's so funny. I used to watch her on Glow on Netflix
yeah.
back in the day. What was your experience like working with her? Because I love the opening scene where she's in the band, and then like 2 minutes in the movie, she's not in the band anymore. It's like, all right, see you, you're out.
Jackie is so warm and so funny, and she's just like a great comedic actor, a great actor. It was a delight. It was great. She was, I think, when I first met her, we did a Zoom because she's in LA, and we just sort of immediately hit it off and felt connected, and felt the communication felt super easy, and yeah,
I mean, but you had
terrific.
so many. I mean, the cast is so good in this. You had Seth Green, you had Jonathan Silverman from Weekend at Bernie's, Steve Guttenberg. You're like, are you like,
I
how
know.
did I end up on the set with all of these people?
I know, it's very humbling, and you learn a lot. And it was great also because it's a multi-generational story, seeing those cast with our younger set of actors who are, the stars of tomorrow, and seeing them work together. It was, yeah, it was just my cup runneth over. It was a basket of riches as a director.
Did you guys end
And
up
fun.
shoot? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I love um all actors are different, and learning, kind of every project you're learning how best to work with the different talent and the creatives. And so I just enjoyed that sort of diversity of talent and different ways of working as well. Super
Yeah.
fun for me.
Did you guys end up shooting this at like an actual campsite, or like where
We
did you
did.
actually? Okay, so you
Mhm.
didn't have to like build anything. It was already like a pre-set up camp and everything like
Yeah,
that.
it's so uh so three of our producers, they're siblings, and their parents met at this camp, and they went there, and they're sending their kids there, Camp Tel Yehuda in Berryville. And we got to spend some time prior to shooting there, and yeah, it was very. like all of the texture of the world was there to draw from.
I'm looking at him like, is this an actual camp? I have to ask Rachel because I'm not sure if it is.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
You know, I was talking about Seth before. He's one of my favorite people. I'm in Philadelphia right now. He grew
Oh
up in
yeah.
this area. But like, he's 51 now, and I can't believe
Did
he's been.
you talk to Seth already?
I didn't get a chance to talk to him. They wouldn't give me that. It's a whole
Oh,
other story. But
oh.
like,
He's
I've
so
always
great.
wanted to because he's like the funniest person in the world.
He's got to be the funniest person in the world, and he's so generous. He's like, you know, um completely giving to everyone he works with, and there's a it actually is something that got kind of cut from the main body of the film, but there's a scene, you'll see it in like the end credits sequence, where he has to get just very mucky and covered in sort of grossness, and the makeup artist, put the stuff on him, and it's supposed to be like sewage, but he was like, this is not enough, and he went to the bucket and just like completely doused himself.
I was just
um
watching it again before I came on with you, and that was the last scene that came up. Was like right after the credits. I was like, wait, what happened to Seth? Did he fall in a pond or something like that? And I missed it.
yeah, 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 yeah. So he kind of like all brilliant comedic actors, he can see, I think he can see the end result and what we have to go for. But like all great comedic actors, he just is completely into the character. There's like no hamming. He fully believes that character and becomes that character in a way um, that's yeah, it's incredible.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your other movie, Keep the Change, that you had a short for, then you turned it into a feature. And you
Yeah,
got to work with the late Jessica Walter on that
yeah,
movie, who everybody knows as, Lucille Booth from
yeah.
can't remember the name of the show, Arrested Development. What was your
Uh-huh.
experience like with Jessica in general? Because again, one of the funniest people I think I've ever seen on screen.
Oh, she's a great person, and talk about generosity. Such a generous spirit, and um, terrific actor. She was just she very grateful that she graced our set and that she was in our film, and absolutely hilarious. Yeah.
What else do you have in the pipeline that you're interested in making or that we can see further down the line after this? Anything you can tell us about?
Yeah. Well, I actually, I directed a film right after The Floaters that is still, it's, I guess I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say about it now, but there's something else coming out that's super fun, and also like a really great comedy. And then I'm in the middle of writing something else that actually brings back a couple of my Keep the Change cast, and it's very different than Keep the Change, but is works with an autistic uh, cast, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited. So,
Are you more comfortable in that role, both writing and directing? Like, is that like home for you? Like, or do you prefer to do one or the other?
oh, you mean which I prefer?
Yeah.
Uh, I think if I write it, then I need to direct it. But I'm also comfortable directing if I didn't write it. Yeah.
I,
Once I'm
I
like in love, if I've written it, then I'm married, so I have to. Yeah.
that's a good line. I like that when I'm married, so I have to. But
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching. I see a lot of my own experiences in the floaters, going to camp and dealing with the inner camp politics and goes on there. And like I think
Yeah.
for someone who didn't go to camp, you hit the nail on the head directing this one. I think I could say.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, I was surrounded by experts. Like I love learning a new world, some whatever I don't know. Um, yeah. Our the my film that I'm not going to speak too much about yet. It's set on the Upper East Side and is steeped in like a kind of sub Upper East Side subculture that I know nothing about. I'm a like at this point I'm like a Vermont crunchy hippie. So, but it's fascinating to come into a world that you don't know much about, which was the I guess the culture of Jewish camp.
I think when it comes to the Upper East Side, my wife will just tell you to watch Gossip Girl, and I'll tell you everything I think you need to know about it at that point.
Yeah.
But thanks for your time today, Rachel, talking about the floaters. It was a pleasure. I had a great time with it. I hope everybody gets loves it when they get a chance to see it in a couple of weeks.
Oh, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Thanks, James.
Thanks.